Good damn afternoon, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Oh, this? This is some brand new green gear that I got in the mail yesterday. It is available on my Teespring account. Link in the description box. This is probably the one good thing that did happen yesterday. The debate. Well, if you haven't been able to tell yet by the tone of my voice, I was not impressed. I really wasn't. I was going to do this video earlier on my lunch break, but I ended up taking too many notes. I really wanted to try to cover all the things that I saw last night that came to mind, things that I was thinking about. But I didn't walk away from that debate feeling like, fuck yeah, we got this. Like, he whooped his ass. It's on. Watch out. November 3rd, 2020. It's a wrap. I just didn't walk away feeling that way. I think, well, let me start with the things I did like. I did like that Trump talked about Antifa, how he was saying that they're a fucking terrorist organization, and I think Biden really messed up when he called them, when he said, Antifa's an idea, not an organization. I'll get back to that. But he hit the Antifa shit, with the riots and everything, and how he's like, almost everything I'm seeing is from the left, as far as the riots and the destruction in these Democrat-run cities. Also, he talked about the Russia hoax. I like that. How the impeachment bullshit, how he's been under fire since he came down the escalator in 2015. He said they've been attacking me from the front, from behind, and above. He talked about Obama and Biden, the Obama and Biden administration, Obama-Biden administration, because Biden kept saying, well, we left you with a great economy. We had a great recovery, and that's a bunch of bullshit. He pointed that out. I like how he talked about how China just ran roughshod over him, just punked him. He literally said, and I quote, China ate your lunch. And they did. They walked on the international playground. They walked up to you, shoved you on the ground, and took your fucking lunch. And you did nothing about it for 8 years. I like how we talked about how shitty these Democrat-run cities are, how this is where you're finding all of this violence, and this is where you're finding all of the failure, not all, most of the failure of the American people. He talked about how he wants to open up the economy, get everything back online. I mentioned in another video that there were countries, i.e. Sweden, who didn't shut their economy down, who are doing fine. I was talking to somebody and they were saying how Thailand had like 500 cases of illness of infected people and like 15 deaths. How'd they do that? With us sheltering in place and all that kind of shit, it just made it a whole hell of a lot worse. Those are some of the things I like that he did say. I liked how Trump had his facts and his stats ready to go. But here are some of the things I didn't like. I didn't like how I felt Trump came out too aggressive. I think he came out, and I hate to use this fucking word because it's overused, but I felt he looked like a bully. And Biden played that role in the beginning. He played it well. He played I'm just trying to unite everybody. Look at this big mean guy. He's trying to tear everybody. Look how he's talking to me. And that moderator didn't help, if you want to call him that. Chris Wallace did not help. I think he just came out too aggressive. I do not like that he even attempted or even took seriously this denouncing white supremacy. Number one, he's already done it long time ago. Number two, I wouldn't have dignified that bullshit with a response. Next question. What do you mean denounce white supremacy? Do I need to? Do we run around saying the sun is hot and puppies are cute? No, the shit's already known. I'm not answering that bullshit. Get out of here. Of course I don't support no damn white supremacy. You can't help who latches on to your campaign. And I didn't like how he was talking over the moderator. He wouldn't shut the fuck up sometimes. I wish sometimes he would have let Biden talk. Let him talk himself into a fucking hole. Let him embarrass himself. Let him do the heavy lifting for you. That's something that most of the time, sir, Mr. President, you guys, sir, Mr. President, can I, that shit was too, I can't fucking stand to hear two people talking over each other. You can't learn shit that way. You can't learn shit from them, and you can't learn shit about them if you're talking the whole damn time. That shit pissed me off. And one thing I didn't like, now, talking about why Biden's son got $3.5 million from the mayor of Moscow's wife. Yeah, that's relevant. I want to know about that shit because you guys are over there screaming about all this Russia collusion bullshit, dragged us through the fucking mud and wasted our time for 2.5 years for nothing. So that's relevant. I want to know why you're jumping up and down talking there's corruption with Russia over there, but your family members are getting broke off millions of dollars. That I do want to know about. I didn't like, number one, from either side talking about each other's family. I don't give a shit about either one of your families. I want to know what you're going to do. I want to know your policies. I want to know your plan. I didn't like how Trump said, well, your son had a coke habit. I didn't like that. I didn't like how Biden was bringing up members of Trump's family. That's a bunch of bullshit. This isn't Family Feud. This is a presidential debate. And those are just some of the things I just didn't like it. And I think Biden came out strong. I think Trump prepared for the mush mouth, what time is it? I'm hungry. He prepared for that Biden. Not the what appeared to be a sharp-minded 180 from what we usually see. And I had a feeling that might happen. I think Biden was on something. I think they gave Biden some drugs, whether it's drugs he doesn't normally take or drugs that he's supposed to be taking and he didn't, or maybe he took them after these interviews he does where he says this outlandish, stupid shit. I don't know. But I think he was on something because, like I said, he started off strong. In the beginning of that debate, I was like, damn. This is the Biden I was looking for. This is the Biden I thought we would see because he can't fuck this up. But later on that changed. We'll get to that. As far as the moderator, I think he did a shitty job. I think he was useless at some points. They were both talking over him, not taking him seriously, not respecting his authority. But I think he attacked Trump. I think he let Biden lie and say this crazy shit. And it's when I say Biden came out strong, I don't mean that he was saying all this powerful shit and he had this great plan and his points were rivaling Trump's. I mean, Biden came out playing his role well, making Trump look like he was frothing at the mouth and getting over emotional. And when he looked in the camera and said, "You people at home, how many of you had an empty seat at the breakfast table this morning because somebody died of COVID?" Now that's fucked up. That's bullshit. And blaming it on Trump is a lie. But he played his part well. He tugged on those heartstrings for a second. And by the time Trump came back around talking about, oh, you're full of it, and he kept mumbling, yeah, you wish you could, you can't do that. Just all that little shit, I don't like that from both of them. That shit was childish. I didn't like it. Tell me what you're going to do. Trump did a good job of saying what he's done, but I want to hear more policy and more plans, how you're going to get us out of this bullshit. I don't want to hear these little personal attacks back and forth. And I know Trump pissed him off, and I know he pissed off Trump. You could tell by their reactions. But one of the main things I really like that Trump said was about the mail-in voting. It's a fraud. It's a fraud. It's a fraud. It's a fucking fraud. I was expecting him to say that because it is. There's too many documented cases of the shit going wrong, not just now with finding ballots in the trash and finding ballots in the fucking river, and you got Ilhan Omar, that Somali double agent. I'll do a video about that, but that Project Veritas thing about the insane ballot corruption going on. And you think handing a ballot to every 80 million people, that's going to work out well? And there's a difference between a mail-in ballot and mail-in voting. A mail-in ballot, you have to request that. In a way, you have to apply for it. They don't just throw one in the fucking mail to you, to everyone. We've heard stories recently about people who are dead getting ballots. Some dude, who was it, Jim, I believe? I could be wrong, but somebody emailed telling me they got one for a fucking animal. Come on. Humans are prone to corruption. If you give them too much power, they're gonna fuck it up. This mail-in voting is nonsense. Plus, it will take too long. The post office came out and said, we can't handle this. Mail-in voting is bullshit. If people can go out and shop, you can go out and vote. If you can get together in groups of tens of thousands to destroy some shit, you can get out and vote. Fuck that mail-in voting. If you have a mail-in ballot, fine. You went to the proper channels, fine. Other than that, get your ass down there and vote in person. Whoever wins, wins. But that mail-in voting is a sham waiting to happen. Now, Biden is pervertus. He did start out strong. He was rattling off some stats, true or not. He was sounding mentally well put together in the beginning. But one thing that he said that I thought was so stupid, he's like, first thing I'm going to do when I get in office, I'm going to get us back in the Paris Accord. He said, because without us in the Paris Accord, it's falling apart. Yeah, dummy. That's because we were propping it up with our money. And you even said yourself, we're 15% of pollution on this planet. That's it? Yet we're paying damn near 100% of the tab? Where's China? Where's India, the two biggest polluters in the world? All these pictures you want to show us about these sea animals, these sea creatures all tangled up, and the little sea turtle with the little straw to his nose. That's why I got to go somewhere and drink my drink through a piece of fucking cardboard. That's a bunch of bullshit. Of course the Paris Accord is falling apart because money bags isn't there anymore. Daddy Fat Pockets USA isn't there anymore. So why can't they come up with the money? Because they couldn't in the first place. We were suckers. So he talked about putting us back in that shit. Retrofitting and weatherizing 4 million buildings and 2 million homes. 4 million buildings, 2 million homes. Isn't that all of them? What, are the streets going to be lined with construction crews as we retrofit and weatherize every structure in the country? And one of my favorite crazy ass things, after he said this, my wife looked at me and said, is he on drugs? When he's talking about the rainforest, and he just called it the forest, he said, we'll get the world to come up with $20 billion and we'll give them the $20 billion and say, stop tearing down the forest. Tearing it down? Is it a building? I didn't know you tore down trees. I think you cut them down, Joseph. But I think that's where his drugs were starting to wear off, and that hapless old man, that senile old fucker that we've come to laugh at was starting to come back. I was like, there he is. There's Joe. There's a Joe I was waiting for. Man, where you been? Your pills wore off? So the 20, and then he started to say, this is the guy who did this, and this is the guy who did that, and this is the guy who, it's all true. What the fuck does that mean, dog? It's all true? What's all true? You didn't even finish the story. So that was in line with his whole, you know the thing, the Pledge of Allegiance for real. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? If you wrote this down, you couldn't read it. It's so disjointed. But he said a ton of crazy shit. He said, I don't support the Green New Deal. Okay, but the plan you just told us about sounds exactly like the Green New Deal. And then, Loco Cortez, you motherfuckers, her womb is so polluted. She can have my fucking baby, man. That fucking 10-year-old, she was on Twitter talking about she's in his climate unity task force. So hold up, Joe. You're telling me you don't support the Green New Deal, but your Biden deal sounds exactly like the Green New Deal, and then you have the author of the Green New Deal on your climate unity task force. Man, stop. He's not fucking serious. Anyway, so these are some of the crazy ass things that this fool said. He said buildings will be emitting less gas and oil. I think you meant they'll be using less fossil fuel for heating and cooling, because buildings don't emit gas and oil. If you got gas and oil coming out of your building, you also have a problem. 500,000 charging stations on the highways we're going to build in the future. What kind of non-specific general bullshit is that? Highways we're going to build in the future and 500,000 charging stations, where are you going to put them? You think it might have to cut down a tree or two? Man, thousands and millions of jobs. Which one is it? Is it going to be thousands or is it going to be millions? If you're going with millions, you don't need to say that thousand shit first. And then he said Trump was against miling standards on vehicles. What is miling? I wrote that down in my notes. I didn't even know how to spell it for a second because I don't think it's a word. Definitely one I've never. Miling standards. I think you meant mileage standards. And then this is one of my favorites. He said, with all this green shit we're going to be getting into, he said they're going to be creating hard, good jobs. Man, what in the absolute fuck is a hard, good job? That doesn't sound like a green job. That sounds like a porno job. Yeah, man, give me the hard, good job. Fuck, man. And then he says that we won't build any more great polluting plants. What the fuck is a great polluting plant? Somebody let me know in the comment section. And then, again, all that COVID death bullshit, that I think blaming those deaths on Trump, that's a bit of a low blow. It really is, because you know damn good and well this man did not cause all those deaths. And Trump even said, he said, when I was trying to shut down travel from China, you called me a xenophobe and a racist when I was trying to stop this shit and help. So which one is it? You can't have it both ways, Bidenist pervertus. And then he said another bullshit lie, and that mediator just let this fool spout this shit. He's trying to fact check Trump, but letting this little bastard run off and say whatever he wants. He said Trump is going to be the first president to have less jobs than when he came into office. Now, I think you might have forgotten to mention this whole sweet and sour sniffles bullshit that damn near tanked our economy. You think that might be why there's less jobs? He didn't just fail and have a brain fart one day and forgot how to create jobs. No, trying to fuck this shit up. So let's tell the whole story. And I've heard people say Trump should have been more presidential. Well, ever since Clinton got his dick sucked in the Oval Office, what exactly does that mean? I definitely think he should have been more professional. He could have been a little more crisp. And I wish he would have handled it more like what do they say? Lions don't concern themselves with the opinions of sheep. I wish he would have took more of that stance, more of, I'm accomplished, I'll let my record speak for me. I'm not taking this silly old hard candy sucking fool seriously. Please. And not let him, get under his skin, so to speak. Because, being completely honest, if the election was last night, ooh, you know? I just didn't feel energized. I didn't feel excited at the end of that. I didn't feel, and maybe it's because we're so used to seeing Trump win. We're so used to seeing him just lead these fools by the nose. We're so used to seeing him be 2-3 steps ahead playing chess while these fools are over here playing checkers. Maybe it's because we're so used to that, seeing him slip a little bit, seeing him not on his game is just a shock to us. I mean, we're just not used to that. I think it is some of that. I'm not giving up on Trump. Come on. Look at the alternative. Trump's done a great job. Let's give him 4 more. I think he's going to do even more good in his second term. It's just that last night was definitely a speed bump. And I think a bull would have been envious of the bullshit that Biden was spewing from that hole under his nose. Even a bull would be like, hey, man, now that's some good bullshit. It really was. It was a lot of lies that weren't challenged. And for a lot of dummies out there, they're saying, hey, he said it on TV in front of a moderator. It must be true. Hell fuck no. Please do your homework. So next week, again, Tuesday, I believe the same time, it's going to be the vice presidents. So this is going to be interesting. I've heard Mike Pence speak before. I don't hear him speak a lot. So I am excited about this. Mike Pence is over 60 years old. So if Kamala Harris can actually keep her composure and not lay down on her back on stage, expecting to get pumped by an older gentleman, we'll see how she does. I know we're going to hear a lot of, we need to do the work. We got to do the work. That uncomfortable fucking laugh, that awkward ass cackle that she does, we'll probably hear a lot of that too. But I do think Mike Pence and his speech writers or whoever's helping him with this prepare for this debate. I think they're going to take a lot from last night. I also think Kamala Harris's team is going to do the same. I think and hope that we're going to have a better debate come out of the vice presidents because of last night. And then the presidential candidates will get another shot on October 15th. So I do expect that to be better as well. If they don't give us a better product, they both have some explaining to do after the second presidential debate. So in a nutshell, last night, if I had to give it a letter grade, I'm going to have to give that one like a D. That was not good. That was not impressive. I did not leave with the feeling that I wanted in the pit of my stomach. I did not leave with the butterflies I hoped for in my stomach after watching Biden's pervertus get the absolute shit kicked out of him last night. That did not happen. I hope it happens on the second one. There you have it. That's my opinion. That's how I feel about it. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell because every time it rings, a piece of shit liberal cries. Get your Jericho Green notification tone link in the description box. Utilize the PayPal link and the Teespring link to get your green gear. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.